Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Get this thing all. Hello, come on in. Everybody, woohoo, come on in. Come on in. I know, I had to take the rain girl to work. So, hi, hola. Yay, you're purple, Barry. Hello, Charlotte. Starting to know everybody's hello in the UK. I so love my UK peeps. You guys are so awesome. I have a question for you UK people. If I was to move to an earlier time again, like I was at noon, which is at 8 p.m. your time, would 1 o'clock be better my time? So it's 9 o'clock your time? Like what would be the best time for you guys to watch? Hello in Boston. Yes. Go Sox. What time would be best for you guys? This time's fine? Okay, well, I don't want you to end up not getting married because you watch in bed and laugh too hard. Now is perfect? Okay, well, good, because this is perfect for me. It's in that kind of nail tech dead time in the afternoon between lunch hour and the evening client. So, yeah, John's asleep and content. That's awesome. Yay! It's later for me in New Zealand. It's 10 a.m. 1 hour later for me in New Zealand, so it's 10 a.m. then. Oh my gosh. My relaxation time. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, get the technical stuff out of the way. I'm Michelle Cordes Pugh. This is Nails Over Coffee. And, today we have the Mickey mug. This time is perfect. Little one's fast asleep. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. So, okay. Well, somebody brought up to me about it being late. So I wanted to make sure it was okay. So today we have Mickey. Yeah, I don't watch basketball. So sure, go Celtics because I don't like pro basketball. So I'm down with that. Oh my God. You guys are funny. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Come on in. A couple things I want to talk about today. A Periscope thingy majigger I learned that I want to pass on to you guys. Since everybody's starting to do never too late to talk nails, I agree with that. Since some of you guys are trying to do your own Periscopes, I want to talk to you guys. We're going to talk about doing a consultation, and this will help a lot with your price stuff. And then I got to get my last call out for Arizona. So, okay, so about the Periscope thingamajigger. You know, guys know I say weird stuff like thingamabob and thingamajigger and hoobus and a what's it and a whoozy what's it, and you know, you guys know that I use all kinds of stuff like that. And don't think all Americans talk like that either. I'm kind of weird like that. So I'm like this really weird cross between American and Canadian and British. So yeah, don't listen to. You use that word? Okay. See, but that's what I said though. I'm sort of this weird mix. So don't think all Americans sound like me because we don't. Okay. So Periscope, for those of you guys who are starting to do your own Periscopes and those kind of things, and maybe even just something to check if you watch Periscope, because I'm not really sure. I was running out of room on my phone and I had just cleared my videos, so I didn't know what the problem was. And that's why my video didn't save on Monday, was because I didn't have enough room in my phone, which I thought was really weird. So I finally went into settings and looked at my data. Well, the Periscope app is only a 16 megabyte app, okay? But apparently it stores documents and data, and you can't go through and individually delete things. It just keeps them in there in the app. So when I went and looked in my app, because I have used the same Periscope app since like December, I like 140 something days of videos or whatever in my Periscope thing. Not all of them were done from this phone, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it saves it in your account or whatever. So that's what I did. Is Barry says, do you have to reinstall it? So that's what I did. I deleted the app and reinstalled the app, and it freed up all that memory again. So I don't know if it's just like a cookies style memory cue that it keeps, doing it with the Facebook app for every month, well, looks like you're going to have to add the Periscope app onto that too. So if you guys are having memory problems or your electronics are working really slow, especially if you're a broadcaster, make sure you go into Periscope and dump it. And right, technology, isn't it something? So yeah, so make sure that you're doing that. I didn't find that out until yesterday. It cleared up 5.5 gigs off my phone, right? So, so many epic pics and epic tunes using all my memory. Do I even want to know what a tune is? Yeah, it's a poop, which is my favorite emoji, by the way. The little, they say it's ice cream, but it's poop. So, oh, music. Bloody hell. Tunes. Okay, now I got it. Okay, so I was talking to another nail tech yesterday. See, I tried that Natural Nails Rock. I went to settings and clear data for the app and it wouldn't do it. So I had to actually remove the app and then re-download it from the cloud. So I don't know. It wasn't that big of a deal. It didn't take that long, but I wish I would have known, because I would have looked for that right away when my phone started giving me the "you're running out of storage" notice. I just thought it was videos. Boy, was I wrong. So anyway, so yeah, I was having a chat with a nail tech yesterday, and we were talking about consultations and pricing and those kind of things. Because a lot of people talk about how they don't charge for nail art, or they have a real problem with charging, you know, they increase their prices and they have a really hard time charging and that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about doing a proper consultation, because this was something that, working in the full service spa that I make all my money on nail art, right? Says Barry. So I thought this was something that everybody could really use. When I worked at the spa that I worked at, you never knew, because they did all your booking and your checking in and all that kind of stuff. And so we never knew, a lot of times meeting our client was the first time that we were meeting them. And so doing a proper consultation is really important in that situation. And you get to do it a lot, so you get really good at it. So what it did was it helped really drive home no matter how long a client has been your client for, no matter how they became your client, no matter how many times you've done their nails, always doing a consultation. With those people, it'll be a shorter consultation, but always doing a consultation before you get started. Hello. So that everybody's all on the same page. So if you think you're going to need to raise your prices, or you think you're going to need to start charging for nail art because you haven't been, or maybe you haven't charging as much for nail art, or somebody talked to me about, do you charge extra for gel polish over enhancements, those kind of things. If you have some of these things on your menu, but maybe you haven't started implementing them yet, or if you're thinking about adding them, or if you just know you need to raise your prices. So the guideline I learned in a salon class years ago, probably it was a full service salon class, probably 15 years ago, was if you're fully booked, you need to raise your prices by 10. And what that'll do is you'll make the same amount of money because of the higher prices, but it'll clear out some of the clients who will open space in your books for new clients who are willing to pay the higher price. Hi, everybody. So that I thought was a really good, solid guideline to follow. So if you're having a hard time getting people in, if you're constantly running a cancellation list and you're constantly fully booked, then yes, and the best time to raise prices, historically what I've been told, is right before the holidays. Raising prices like November 1st, mid-November, because with the holidays coming up and New Year's and everything, nobody wants to find a new artist. They want to stay where they're at. And even your people who don't come in regularly all year, you generally see during that time. So if you're fully booked and you're running out of room, which is a great problem to have, but then you run out into the room of, okay, well, how do I give myself a raise? And we say, well, raise prices. Okay, well, how do you raise prices, you know? So I thought that was a good guideline, raising prices by about 10% and clearing out some of the underbrush. So, I personally like round numbers, so I like to put it off a little bit longer and go by a rounder number. Something you've been scared to do, right, Barry? I think a lot of people are in that boat. So, but then the problem comes of when you do raise prices, how do you do it? So, you know, we always say you have to put, right? So, yeah. Cool, you're still doing your time. That's, you know what I mean? You'll be good in a year in July. That'll be perfect. So you put out a sign on your table, or if you have a whole salon, you put out a sign. If you have access to your client records through a online booking system or an email list or something like that, sending everybody out an email with the new price and also giving them an idea that what their services are. I found one time when I raised my prices that my clients didn't even know what to look at on the new price sheet because they weren't even really sure what they got. So I made sure to tell people what they got. See, we were talking about charging for removal, then reapplying gel polish or acrylic last night. Exactly, Charlotte. And that just really depends on your pricing model. You have to decide for you and your type of repeat business how you're going to do that, because how I do it might not necessarily be the same way as it would be best for you to do it. So those are the kind of decisions that you need to make. I do that free on gel polish unless it's someone else's work, right? I personally don't charge for removal unless it's somebody else's product and I can't verify that it's the product if I can't verify if it's shellac, like if it comes from another shellac tech, then I don't charge for it, but, and that's sort of a courtesy, but I charge extra if it's from somewhere else. And that way it's the same price, whether they've peeled it off or not or whatever. There's no advantage to peeling it off. So, but back to doing the proper consultation. So doing a proper consultation will help you in all that transition stuff. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is we need to make sure that we're always greeting every client when they come in. Now, I know that seems like a no-brainer, but it's amazing how once you start to get comfortable, especially in a busy salon and you're really comfortable, you kind of get into the, you know, hiya, you know what I mean, and not really doing a proper greeting. So make sure you're doing a proper greeting where you're actually saying, hey, how's it going? You know, thanks for coming in or whatever, you know, hey, nice to see you or whatever. So that you're doing a proper greeting. Then when you actually get them seated at your table, the very first thing you're going to do is sanitize hands, you know, and the way I found best to do this is I just kind of reach out my hands and they're, you know, expecting of their hands and, you know, kind of give them a little come, let's see. And for the people who are embarrassed about the state of their hands or the state of their nails, this is a good time to usually chuckle and go, I've seen it all. Don't worry. You got to show it to me eventually. Just come. And they laugh and they put their hands in mine. And then that's a very bonding moment for the consultation is I'm holding their hands in my hands and I'm looking at their hands. And I say, on a new client, I say, so tell me about your perfect nails. What are you really looking for to get out of having a nail service? And let them tell me, you know, do they like them long or short or square or whatever, you know, whatever they have, feedback they have to give me. And then while I'm holding their hands in my hands, you know what I mean? And I talk about, you know, so, and maybe if it's a regular client, I'll go, oh, I see. So we have a couple broken. Did we have a problem this time? Did you feel like there's anything you want to talk to me about? You know, what kind of color are we going to do this time? Are we going to do some fun nail art or what do you want to do? And I had one client who wore the same gel polish over her acrylic every single appointment. It was dark lava from shellac every time. And I was holding her hands and I said, and I was like, so are we going to do a different color? Are we going to do the same color? What are we going to do? And she goes, you ask me that every time. And I said, and I always will. because I never want you to think you want a different color, but you don't know how to ask me. So I'll always ask you every time if we're doing the same, or if we're doing something different, what are we going to do? And she laughed and I laughed. But that way you're opening the door for your client to tell you, nah, they were a little too square last time. Or, oh, well, I like them a little thicker. Can you make them a little thicker? Or, yeah, you know, I normally do these dark reds, but I was kind of thinking about doing like a fun, like bright pink or something because it's spring. And you go, oh, okay. That way you're finding out, it gives that, it only takes like 2 minutes tops if you do it right. And it just gives, you're doing it holding their hands, and it gives a very comforting, consulting, I want to know whatever you want to tell me about your nails. This is the time to tell me. And so then they say, well, I saw some pictures on Pinterest. Like I was kind of thinking about maybe doing some like, you know, lines or dots or something, not anything real big. And I go, oh, well, I looked at your Pinterest last night, actually. Was it the one you pinned that was pink with the silver dots or whatever? And they go, oh, yeah, actually, it was that one. And I'm like, totally. You know what? Let's do some silver dots on your accent nail. And since you don't normally do nail art, and that only takes me extra product, but not really extra time. I look like a pineapple. Who are you? That's so weird and random. So, you know, let's go ahead and do that. And for that, I'm not going to charge you any extra. Normally, it would be an extra $5 for product, but do you paint on animals? Like, you just do. I think it's because of my hair. If so, my whale friend Ellie is interested. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I want an elephant on my thumb. Okay, I don't know. Unless you're here in Washington State, I wouldn't be able to do your nails anyway. So, yes. Hi, everybody. I do. Okay, I don't know. I think I'm not going to answer you. So, you're in Saudi Arabia. Okay, well, that would be really hard for me to do your nail thing. Where's my hairband from? I'm not sure. I think just a discount store. It's kind of a stretchy one. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So you've done this whole like consultation, and then you can say, well, they're chatting with each other as long as they're not bothering me. So then that gives you the ability to say, so normally it would be $5 extra for product for nail art, but these are real simple dots. So I'll do it for you for free this time. But if you want to do something more, just so you know, my upcharge for nail art is $5 for a product charge if it doesn't really take me any extra time. If it takes me extra time, it's $15 for 15 minutes. And they go, oh, okay. So then if they go into a big old thing about, yeah, because I've seen the designs and they're really crazy, I've already given them a heads up that it's going to be an extra $15 for every 15 minutes. That'll do whatever they ask, but they're going to, have to pay for it. So what the cool thing is that I am able to then quote them a price at the beginning. And so for some people who have, who I've quoted, so I have some people who they've been coming to me since my fills were $25, and then they went up to 30, and now they're 35. And so for those people, especially if it's somebody I haven't seen in a while. Maybe it's somebody who hasn't come to me since my price was 30. So this consultation, I'm seeing them again. I'm glad to see them, but I have to let them know what I'm going to be charging them. So, you guys are funny. I'm just letting the chat go on. So that way, when you're able to say, hey, I am, so it's $35 for your fill. And then it's $5 extra for the painted art that you want, or the stones, or the glitter, or whatever. And so your total today is going to be $40. And they go, okay, or never mind, I don't want the glitter, or whatever. And then you proceed on. Now, the question always comes up. You've done a proper consultation. You've figured out exactly what you're going to do. And then the conversation always comes up of, well, what if they change their mind in the middle? I'll let that fly like once. So if they change in the middle and they go, no, actually what I really want is, if it's going to be more work, I go more work, more money. Or, okay, I don't have time for that today. Or, you know, I kind of go, you know, normally once you tell me what you want, it's kind of got my brain working. And so if you change midstream, I don't really have the time to design up what you're looking for. So why don't we do what we originally planned and do that next time? Maybe you can find some pictures for me of what you're looking for and put it off till next time, which by that time they thought of something else and I'd totally forgotten it. So, and so that's a part of that whole, we say the word client training, and it sounds so bad to say I have to train them, but it's getting them used to me and me getting used to them, where I'm kind of like, ooh, no, Or they'll ask for something different than what they started. And I say, well, I looked at your Pinterest board last night, because I've already said you should follow all of your clients on Pinterest and Instagram and stuff, because that way you have an idea where their head's at before they even come in. So during the consultation, what do you do if the client comes in and they go, I don't know what I want, I can't decide, or I have no idea? You pick. Now, if you've known the client for a really long time, you pick is fine, because you just pick, or you show them a board, or you show them Pinterest or whatever, but this can take a really long time, right? So you narrow down the questions to get it right. Clients tagging you ahead of time in photos, that you get that a lot. You have ideas of what you want to try on them. Exactly. But it's a little uncomfortable if you don't know the client very well, or it's, I hate those words, I don't like to pick their art. Yeah, you know, so if it's a new person especially, you know, and you don't really know what they like. So I have like the same routine questions I ask, and basically the same order every time for the client who can't decide their color, can't decide their art, can't decide whatever, that I ask, where I start out first and I say, well, are you thinking light or dark? And they usually go, light. Okay, well, are you thinking like fun and funky, or are you thinking more kind of casual, natural? And then they say, well, fun and funky. And I go, oh, okay, well, do you normally like warmer colors like peaches, or cooler colors like pinks? And then you say, well, I normally like cooler colors, like I pick out bicycle yellow and green glitter, makes them choose their own. That's funny. That's awesome. So, you know, and so then they go, oh, I generally like pinks more. And I go, okay, well, why don't we do, since you said fun and funky, and you said that you like cooler colors better, why don't I have like a baby blue or a mint green, or, you know, and you get them onto the cooler colors. Or if there's somebody who says, no, I generally like more colors like peach and yellow and stuff like that, then you can gear them that way. You say, oh, I've got this really cool like poppy color, and I've got this really cool sort of a warm coral color. And so you ask them the questions that it makes what you're going to do sort of like a tree diagram, where it's like, if it's this way, you go this way. If it's this one, you go this way. If it's this one, you go this way. If it's this one, you go this way. And you do the same thing. If they say dark, you're like, okay, well, do you want to be like vampy dark, or do you want to be like fun, crazy Katy Perry dark? Like, you know, and, illuminate what you show them too. Absolutely. So being able to say, and then you guide them down. It works great when you get pedicure clients in who they don't know what kind of color they want to pick on their toes. I put them in the chair with a sample polish ring and hand that to them. And so they just get to pick from those. They usually, if I can get them to narrow it down to 3, I go grab 3 bottles and hold them out and go, okay, pick from these. And they normally like quickly eliminate one and then they pick between the other 2. And it really does work. So if you can do all this as a part of your consultation. So sometimes my consultation sort of rolls into the beginning of the service, especially if it's a client that I know really well, that I've done for a really long time. So I go, so what are we thinking today? And they go, oh, you definitely need to shorten these beasts. And, oh, I don't know. I was kind of thinking that it's springy, so I need to go with something kind of fun. So I go, oh, all right. And I get out my file and I put my file strip on and I get out my cuticle pusher and I start pushing the cuticles back going, well, I don't know. Are you thinking like a bright pink or are you thinking more like a pastel pink or robin's egg blue or something like that while I'm starting to work? So we're still talking. I still haven't quoted them a price, but now I've started the process of working. And then I start, prep filing and everything. We figure out what it is. And I go, okay, well, that'll be an extra $5. So it'll be 40 and, today for your service. And they go, oh, okay, that's cool. And then we can move on to the next topic of, so how did last weekend go? You know what I mean? Whatever. Doing it while they soak off. Absolutely. If you're doing a removal on gel polish or something like that, that's the perfect time. I have been told I have too much choice. Talk to the hands, baby. Right? Says Mayor, and make refreshments, right? If you're going to grab them a cup of coffee or something like that, getting them a cup of tea or a cup of coffee while their hands are occupied and they're soaking off so they can't really do anything or drink anything anyway. You're talking to them about how did they like what they had last time. So again, paralleling other things in the beauty industry, talking a lot about like soak, drink, and consult is my routine. Perfect. So now, you just got to kind of, since you do mostly gel polish, that works out perfectly for you. But when you've got enhancement clients that you've done gel polish on, and say you haven't been charging them for gel polish, but now you have to charge them for gel polish. That's when you're going to have to put a sign on your table that has your whole price list and address everybody saying, well, this time your appointment will be $35, but I haven't been really enforcing my charging for gel polish over enhancements. And because of product costs, I'm starting to get all these colors and it's starting to cost a little bit. So I really kind of start needing to do that. So it's going to be an extra $10 for your gel polish over your enhancements. Or I have some regular colors we can do, but they don't wear as well. So that's kind of up to you. And then let them choose. If they know that they had a choice, they could choose to use a regular polish that wasn't going to be dry on the way out the door. It was going to wear off on the tips some. They weren't going to have gel sealant, all those kind of things. Or they can pay an extra $10 and get what they've always gotten. They have the choice. So you're not telling them they have to pay $45. You're telling them that it's $35 and Barry says, I have some lovely new hard gel polish for overlays. Alessandro, I saw that actually. Do you have the chameleon ones? Is it the ones in the pots? I've seen the ads for them. But so that's the way, it's that opening a rapport, opening a dialogue with your clients during the consultation that makes the pricing thing almost seamless, And sometimes people will ask me how much, why my stuff is so, okay, if you get the chameleon ones, Barry, you got to give me a report because I want to know how the chameleon ones work because we don't have ones that are just like that over here. Talking about gel polishes. They color change. Yeah, well, sort of. They're not really. They're more like they come in a pot and you brush them on and they might be soak off actually. I'm not sure. But when you change them. Yeah, they're really iridescent. Like you look at one and it'll be blue, but you turn it to the side and it'll look purple and you roll it back the other way and it'll be green and stuff like that. You do have one, Barry. You'll have to color shift. Yeah, you guys will have to, somebody will have to get on Periscope and, okay, but a non-pro run. Okay, I want to know the Alessandro ones. You keep falling asleep and missing my scopes. Shame on you, Artistic Nails. So, see, you clearly need more coffee for the over nails, and then you won't fall asleep. So, doing your consultations that way, and people ask you about price, I usually use something a lot like, something that's really gone up since I've been a nail tech. So, for example, over here in the U.S., right? Over here in the U.S., welcome to the Fashionably Late. When I started doing nails in 1996, a gallon of pure acetone was $7.87. Okay. Now that same gallon of pure acetone is $22.99 unless I can get it on special for $19.99. So that means that that price has almost tripled in the last 20 years I've been doing nails. Same thing with my acrylic monomer. I used to be able to buy my monomer by the gallon, and it was $200 a gallon. But then I could time it so I could get it on special when they would run these 50% off specials. So I could get a gallon for $100. So then I was able to buy 2 gallons for $200, right? Okay, well then they stopped running the special. So it was just a gallon for $200. And I was kind of like, well, no more special anymore. Okay. Well, then they stopped making the gallon and they started making it only in the half gallon. And the half gallon was $120. So now that same gallon of liquid that in 1996 I was able to buy for $100 by good timing and shopping is now $240. So it's 2.5 times as much. So I tell people that, the problem with that is that name me something else that's the same price that it was 20 years ago. If I went by that same upgrade, what were $25 fills should be 50 or 60, right? Because everything that I use has doubled or tripled in price. Shouldn't my prices get to double or triple in price? You go to McDonald's and you used to be able to get 2 Big Macs for $2. Well, now they're 2 for $6, right? Triple in price. Shouldn't I be able to triple my prices? Of course not, right? You're being robbed if that's what you're paying for acetone. Yeah, I know. I need to order from Nail Nightmare. That's in general. And even if you go into a hardware store, like a home improvement store, and buy it there in the can and stuff, it's still $19.99 at Home Depot now and Lowe's, at least here. So, and I find that in things like that are liquid and by the gallon, if you have to pay for shipping, any savings you make cost you so much on the shipping that you end up spending about the same amount. So I'll just have to look into that more. Yes, Mare, I will go look at Nailite. But so I tell my shipping, right? So I tell my clients that all the products that I use have doubled and tripled over the years. And I've done some shifts to try and keep their prices from have to doubling and tripling, but I have to do something. And so then once you give them, you're not giving them all the secrets. You're not like cracking open your books for them, but you're giving them enough information to understand why your prices are what they are. And then when you do raise prices, they get it. They understand. And some of my clients over the years who I grandfathered in on some old prices just started paying me more anyway because they could see my price list and they knew what my prices were. And they were, going, okay, I got to pay what I owe. I have a good nail tech. And so they just pay more. And that's good. It's all working. So plus your skill has grown and you've had extra education. Absolutely. Every time. That's why you should look at raising your prices like once a year, right around the holidays. It's the end of show season. So that's when you say, because of the classes that I took this year and this extra education that brought me all these new techniques that I've been able to use on you and we've had fun with, and the increased price of products that I go through every year, I have to institute a 10% price increase. So now my fills aren't going to be 35, they're going to be 39. Sorry, that's the best I can do, is 10%. I'm just trying to kind of split the difference with you. And people tend to really understand more when you've given them some warning, you've let them know what's going on, you've done it at a time when they're not going to go looking for a new nail tech. They have their nail tech the time between all their company Christmas parties and New Year's Eve, and everything is not the time they're going to be wanting to go run the risk of whatever. So they're just, you're going to be able to best do their holiday designs they want. Now they know they're going to have to pay for nail art because you've talked to them about that during the consultation. It's all that establishing a rapport, establishing a relationship with your client, and providing excellent customer service. No matter what price level you're at, you still need to be providing good customer service. How many times do we all go in somewhere and go, you can't find good help these days, right? Like, be that good help, So speaking of education, I'm about ready to do my time being out of here. But let's see, Barry says, I'm definitely going to charge more in November as I'm switching to a more expensive brand of gel polish. Perfect. Absolutely. And you can very easily say, it's time for me. I sound like Marge Simpson. Yeah, I did sort of there, huh? That's a reminder to not do that anymore. New gel polish, lovely, cool. So being able to say, I'm offering you more choices. I've gone through this education. I've done this kind of stuff. So this is why we're going to, apparently I sound like Marge Simpson. All right, fair enough. Barron sounded like Bart Simpson, I guess, right? So on the note of education, this is my last call for Arizona. Speaking of education, I'm really bummed that we couldn't get enough techs together in Arizona, it seems, to get this done. So today's my last call. I need 9 people registered and paid. Tell me I'm still cool. 9 people registered and paid by the end of today, or I have to cancel the trip. So that's kind of a bummer. I had demand for it. I thought it would work. It didn't. So if I have to cancel it, I'm just going to probably wait until after show season, to start setting up for, next year, and try to time it, try to get in on the trade show events and try and time the classes outside of show season and have them enough ahead of time so that people can put them in their education budget for the year. So I tried, but yeah. So if you know any techs in Arizona, pass it on. Midnight tonight is when I'm going to have to cancel everything. Sad face. Sad face. But my people who did sign up that I'm going to have to cancel the class on, I'm going to give them a free month at the University of Nails, just kind of as a consolation, so that they can still get some of the information that they would have gotten in the class. They just won't be as hands-on with me to do it, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll keep working on it, and we'll work on it for next year. And who knows, maybe by next year, I will have, I know you guys on Periscope are all spread out all over the world, and I will definitely keep trying, Mare. And next year, I'll probably team it up with some other hands-on, non-product specific classes. So, I'm going to try and work on that too. And I have some partnerships I've been talking about with some other educators that aren't product associated to see if maybe we can put together some cool workshop-y weekends that I do some of the business part and some of the hands-on, and I have other people who do hands-on for other stuff. So that we can maybe get some real cool, like, rock and roll type things going on, maybe around the trade shows, partner up with some people, kind of bring the cost down for everybody. Because if we can bring the cost down for us, then we can bring the cost down for class attendance. So, all right. Yeah, hands-on stuff. That's the thing, is I would love, you can give me any acrylic product, liquid and powder, from the stuff you found in the aisle of the drugstore all the way on up to the most expensive products there is. And if you give me 5 minutes with it, I can tell you everything you need to know about the product and the little tips and tricks of how it's going to work, because the basic chemistry in how liquid and powder works is the same. So once you understand just which one of the chemistry you're dealing with, then the rest of the process works pretty well. So, and some steps are just the same. Some tips and hints are the same no matter what product you use. So same thing with using an e-file, same thing with those kind of things. So I'd like to get some beginners courses in for people. If you plan to do something in Florida in November next year, I'll come as we're going to Disney. You know what? That's all good to know. I will definitely keep that in mind. You'll have to send me your dates. Send me your dates, Charlotte. Oh, you're welcome for a wonderful Periscope today. I'm glad you joined us. So, used your e-file this morning on some thick toenails. Oy, yeah, boy, that's going to get me on another rant that I'm currently collecting data for. But with confidence, good girl, good girl. So I'm going to sign off for you guys. I've got some office work I need to knock out and get done, super quick before the end of the business day today. And my headband is sliding back, so I'm starting to look ridiculous. So, I'm going to sign off with today I had the Starbucks Via instant coffee. It's all right. Tastes like I got it for free though in a sample. Tastes like one step up of Taster's Choice, so whatever. Yes, pre-planning is good, gives everyone time to plan and save. So I think instead of trying to prematurely do this year, if people want to pay for a private location type thing or put something together, then I'll do it. But you haven't booked it yet, but you're planning on 2 weeks. Well, let me know when you have your dates. Then I'll just try to get 2017 set up so that everybody can plan ahead and book ahead. Barry wants to know if she can come with you, Charlotte. All right. I am out of here. Peace. Oh, I got to put my coffee cup down to do it. Peace, love, and nails. Oh, and this is my broken nail. The caption doesn't provide a whole lot of strength. It does some, but not a whole lot. A little bit of protection, but not strength. So it still breaks like shellac, just so you know. Somebody had a question about lanolin. Ask it up before we sign off here officially. Yeah, I'd love to get over there and go to Euro Disney. Then we can do that UK class, eh? If I can get a translator, I can do one in France too. I can do one in Paris. Yes, it's much colder there. I know. So yeah, somebody asked a question about lanolin. So I'd love to answer that. If you can get that typed in for me, that would be great. In the meantime, I'll just let everybody sit and chat amongst themselves and I'll drink my coffee. Because I'd love to answer your lanolin question. So, right. I think maybe our lanolin questioner is a slow question. Paris is awesome though. We're going there this year. Gonna do some fun nails on scope tomorrow. Cool, Barry. I'll try and pop in. I have a really long day tomorrow. I'm 12 hours. Okay. Nails by Meyerly. Can I get a cuticle remover that does not contain it? You're going to get me new mugs. I just get used to it not putting me off my flow. Yes, lots of cuticle remover does not have lanolin in it. What you're going to want to do is look for a cuticle remover that uses sodium hydroxide or something like that. So CND's Cuticle Away, they're generally the cuticle removers that are clear. That are not milky. The milkier ones, you're more likely to have lanolin in it. So trying to find a cuticle remover type gel or spray. You can also, Cuticle Away is a good one. Lanolin isn't bad, but lanolin is a product of sheep. And so people who are allergic to wool are a lot of times also allergic to lanolin. So it is something that you need to pay attention to depending on your clientele. So the CND Cuticle Away doesn't have any lanolin in it, or look for clear ones and then read the product ingredient list. If you go get your safety data sheet for your clients, because it's a potential allergen, if it has lanolin in it, they generally list it on the safety data sheet. So you can look up your MSDS, SDS, whatever you want to call it. Is it true mineral oil can lift acrylics? No. You just don't want to use mineral oil because it's too big of a molecule. So it doesn't get past sitting on top of the nail and on top of the skin. It doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't actually go anywhere. So mineral oil is a great buffing oil. If you're just going to buff and all you're looking for is something to provide slip with the buffer to get something smooth, but you're welcome. But if you're wanting to actually use something that's going to help the client, you need to not use mineral oil because it doesn't do anything. Quick question. How do I watch other people's scopes from them if I'm catching up? So here's the deal. You have to go to their scope and you have to, like, you're going to go follow them, their little thing, that window that tells who they are. And under recent broadcasts, it'll have a number and you can touch on that and it'll bring that broadcast up. If they don't have any of those, then they're past 24 hours and they've expired. So if they haven't put them up somewhere, like I upload mine to YouTube, if they haven't put them up somewhere else, then they're just gone forever. So don't fall behind on your periscopes. So a few techs you want to catch up on? Yeah. So try going and checking out the searching for your tech that you like on YouTube and seeing if they put their periscopes up there. So, all right though. Yeah, not on your phone though, right? Make sure you dump your periscopes if your stuff's moving slow. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to go dump Periscope on my other two iOS devices, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope same bat time, same bat channel. I'll be on a break in between clients, and I will do my very best to make sure that I can get to you guys at the same time. And it's just, we should all give me some likes and shares on YouTube too. That would be nice. And next Monday, it looks like Rain is going to be doing her thing talking about anxiety in the salon and how to help with that. So you'll get the Rain Girl next Monday. All right. I will talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow. Peace, love, and nails. Peace, love, nails. Bye. I know. She'll be good for you guys. You guys behave for her, though. Remember, that's my daughter. All right. Bye, you guys.